Are you curious to know what the oldest house in the United States is? And watch this video all the way through to the end, so that you can learn everything about it. In today's video, we will talk about the oldest house in the US and many other interesting facts about it, so be sure to watch until the very end. Also, if you are a true fan of the oldest and amazing houses, then be sure to hit that subscribe button for more videos about them. Without further ado, let's get started. The history of the oldest house in America dates back to the early 17th century, when European settlers began to explore and settle in North America. The first permanent English settlement in what would become the United States was established at Jamestown, Virginia in 1607, and it was here that the earliest surviving brick house in the country was built in 1619. This house, known as the Weimer S. Hill House, is located in Williamsburg, Virginia, and was constructed by a wealthy landowner named Robert Custis. The house was built in the style of a typical English brick home of the time period, with thick walls made from locally produced bricks and a steep gable roof. While there are no original outbuildings remaining, the house itself has been remarkably preserved and restored to its former glory. Today, visitors can tour the house and learn about life in early colonial America. One of the most fascinating aspects of the Weimer's Hill House is its connection to one of America's most famous founding fathers. Jefferson, who was born in 1743, grew up just a few miles away from the house and is said to have spent much of his childhood exploring the grounds and playing in the fields around the property. In fact, it was during one of these childhood visits that young Thomas Jefferson is said to have discovered his passion for architecture and design. Legend has it that he was so taken by the symmetry and elegance of the house that he decided to make a career of studying architecture. Whether or not the story is true, it's clear that Jefferson was deeply influenced by the Georgian style of architecture, which he saw firsthand at Weimer's Hill and other early colonial homes. His own house at Monticello is a prime example of this influence, with its stately facade, symmetrical windows, and overall balance and proportion. Visitors to Weimer's Hill House can see the direct influence of the house on Jefferson's architectural career through exhibits and displays that highlight the connections between the two properties. They can also learn about the broader cultural and historical context of early colonial architecture in America. Overall, the house's significance as a symbol of America's rich architectural heritage is undeniable. It stands as a reminder of the country's colonial roots and the enduring legacy of early American architecture. While the Weimer's Hill House may be the oldest surviving brick house in the U.S., it is not the oldest structure. That distinction belongs to the remains of a Native American structure known as the Octagon House, located in Oklahoma. Archaeologists believe that this structure was used as a ceremonial structure and place of refuge by the prehistoric people who lived in the area. While not much remains of the original structure, excavations have revealed several artifacts, including arrowheads, pottery shards, and animal bones, providing insights into the daily life of the people who lived there. Another contender for the title of oldest house in the U.S. is the Verena Shirley Plantation in Charles City County, Virginia. Built in 1613, this grand estate was once the largest plantation in Virginia and played a significant role in the colonial economy. The original house, known as Green Spring, was constructed by Thomas Fariner, early settler who had been granted a large tract of land by the Virginia Company of London. Over the years, the plantation grew to encompass thousands of acres and produced a variety of cash crops, including tobacco, wheat, and barley. The plantation also played a significant role in the domestic slave trade, as enslaved people were brought in from Africa to work the fields and produce the crops that sustained the plantation economy. Another historic home that could be considered the oldest in the U.S. is the Stratford Hall Plantation, located in Westmoreland County, Virginia. This plantation was established in 1726 by Thomas Lee, a wealthy planter and member of the Virginia House of Burgesses. Like many plantations in the southern colonies, Stratford Hall was a large-scale agricultural operation that relied on the labor of enslaved people to grow cash crops such as tobacco and wheat. The plantation also played a significant role in the political and social life of colonial Virginia, as many of the Lee family members, including Stratford Hall, were prominent figures in the fight for independence from Britain. However, it's important to note that the concept of the oldest house in the U.S. is somewhat subjective and depends on how you define a house. For example, some might argue that the oldest house is the one with the earliest building permit, or the oldest standing structure. On the other hand, historians might consider the oldest house to be the one with the most significant historical value. If we look beyond individual houses and explore the oldest neighborhoods in the U.S., we find that many of them are located in the original 13 colonies. For example, the town of St. Augustine, Florida, is founded in 1565, is home to the oldest continuously occupied neighborhood in the United States. Similarly, the city of Boston, Massachusetts, founded in 1630, contains several neighborhoods that date back to the early days of the country. It's also worth noting that the oldest neighborhoods in the U.S. often reflect the country's diverse cultural heritage. For example, the French Quarter in New Orleans, Louisiana, is home to a neighborhood that was established in the late 1700s by French settlers. Likewise, San Francisco's Chinatown neighborhood was established in the mid-1800s and is home to the oldest Chinese temple in the United States. These are just a few examples of the many historic neighborhoods that can be found throughout the United States. Exploring these neighborhoods is a great way to learn about the country's rich history and cultural heritage. If you have the opportunity to visit one of these places, be sure to do so. You won't regret it. We hope you enjoyed learning about some of the oldest neighborhoods in the United States. Let us know in the comments below which one you would love to visit the most. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos about amazing houses. And with that being said, we'll see you next time. Imagine waking up every morning in a house that has witnessed centuries of history. That's what it's like to live in America's oldest home, the Wems Hill House, located in Williamsburg, Virginia. This charming brick home was built in 1619, making it the oldest surviving brick house in the United States. But that's not all that makes it special. Throughout its long life, the house has been lovingly restored to its former glory, complete with period furnishings and decorations that transport you back in time. As you wander through the rooms, you could help but feel a sense of awe at the thought of the people who have walked these floors before you. Can almost hear their footsteps echoing through the halls. But the history doesn't stop there. The Weimers Hill House was actually visited by Thomas Jefferson during his childhood. He was so inspired by the home's architecture that he decided to make architecture his life's work. And the influence of this house can still be seen in his own home, Monticello. But perhaps the most enchanting part of the Wems Hill House is its beautiful garden. Imagine sipping your morning coffee on the patio surrounded by blooming flowers and lush greenery. It's the perfect way to start the day and feel connected to nature. The garden is also a great place to relax and unwind after a busy day. As you watch the sun set over the horizon, you can't help but feel a sense of peace and tranquility. Overall, living in America's oldest house must be a truly special experience. It's a place where history comes alive and where you can connect with the past while still enjoying modern comforts. If you ever get the chance to visit the Wems Hill House, be sure to do so. You won't regret it. What do you think about this house? Would you like to live there? Tell us in the comments section below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos about amazing houses.